This Dr. Photoshop tutorial is sponsored by BigStockPhoto.com. To start, let's go to File New, 2500 pixels by 2500 pixels, OK. Now, double-click on the background, hit OK. Now there's a specific color I wanted for the background. Let's copy that. Let's go to the Paint bucket and just double-click and paste. All right. It's a large document. Now, this will be our background, but it will be one of our top layers in the document. Let's set this to overlay. Let's create a new layer. Change it to the default colors. And now create black fill. Let's go to Filter, Add Noise. You want to set it to about 25 Gaussian monochromatic. Let's take the magic wand, set the tolerance at 60. Let's zoom in. Now pick a black pixel. All right, hit delete or backspace. And now it's just a bunch of white pixels. This creates a kind of grain for the photo. Let's go to Image, Adjustments, Hue and Saturation, and just drag this lightness slider down to 100. All right, let's create a new layer below the fill color blue. Select the gradient tool with the black to white gradient and just drag a nice gradient. Let's actually go the other way. All right, now let's just bring down that opacity. And remember, this has to be set to overlay. There's one more thing I wanted to do with this grain layer. Let's go to Filter, Blur, Blur More. All right, now let's go to the mask. Set it to the two default colors, black and white. And let's go to Clouds. Now you should notice a kind of blotchy type effect. We want to lessen this effect. Let's go to Levels. Let's zoom in and just bring the white slider to the left a little. To start this next section, let's create a new set and now a new layer. Take the pen tool and just create a wacky shape. Alright, let's take the black select tool, control click for the Mac or right click for the PC and hit fill path. Make sure the foreground color is black and hit OK. Let's bring down this opacity, hit delete to get rid of the pen path. Click on the mask, take the gradient tool, just drag out a gradient, and you see how it fades. Let's move it somewhere. And just repeat this process, create a new layer. Make a wacky pen path. Right click, fill path. Bring down the opacity. You want the opacity below 20%. Put it somewhere. You can overlap it. And now let's create a new layer again. Take the pen tool, but we're going to do something different this time. Create another wacky shape. Fill. Bring down the opacity. Now we're going to want to go to Edit, Perspective, bring out the lower points and bring in the top point, and go to Edit, Free Transform, and flatten it just a little. Go back to Edit, Transform, Perspective. This creates a kind of stage for our iPod person. It makes it look like there was a floor there. And just continue on creating these shapes. We're going to first want to cut out the person. You can use either the polygon or create a mask and just cut it out. I've already done it to save time. And now we're going to want to go to duplicate first. Let's go to adjustments, hue and saturation, and just bring down this lightness slider, make it black. Now let's bring back our Photoshop document for the iPod graffiti and just drag over. We don't want this, we want this, the topmost layer. There's a dot right there, let's get rid of it. Alright, good. And now just place it. You may want to bring down the size of the person for the document. Now let's create a duplicate layer using Command J or Control J for the PC. Take the transform, skew, take this point and just drag to the left. Hit OK or return. Just bring that back over. Let's bring down the opacity. And now let's click on the mask layer. Take the gradient tool and just drag out. Let's try that again. Now let's go back. Let's skew this even more. Make sure you hit skew. Go to free transform. And now you just want to align it back up. All right, so there you go. Now you have your iPod graffiti in blue style.